Hey, Daryl here. This is my daily devotional. Sadly, hypocrites do exist in the church, but hypocrites have always existed. A hypocrite is someone who claims to have a spiritual life, yet also engages in things that are in opposition to that spiritual life. For instance, in the 2 Kings chapter 13, the king was Jehoash. And it says to us in verse 11, he did evil in the eyes of the Lord, and he did not turn away from any of the sins of Jeroboam. Once again, we're still talking about the sins of the golden calves at Dan and Bethel. He didn't turn from those. Yet he still claimed to live for God. Elisha, the prophet, was about to die. So consider Joash's response to the deathbed of Elisha. Now Elisha was suffering from the illness from which he died. Jehoash, king of Israel, went down to see him and wept over him. My father, he cried, the chariots and the horsemen of Israel. Elisha said, get a bow and some arrows. And he did it. Take the bow in your hands, he said to the king of Israel. When he had taken it, Elisha put his hands on his king's hands. Open the east window, he said, and he opened it. Shoot, Elisha said, and he shot. The Lord's arrow of victory, the arrow of victory over Aram. Elisha declared, you will completely destroy the Arameans at Haphek. Now, remember Aram, the country to the north of Israel, always invading Israel? And he says, shoot the arrow. That was the Lord's arrow out the east window. And it was a declaration that he would have victory. Now, it goes on and says, take the arrows and take the king. And Elisha told him, strike the ground. He struck the ground 3 times and stopped. The man of God was angry with him and said, you should have struck the ground 5 or 6 times. Then you would have defeated Aram and completely destroyed it. But now you will defeat it only 3 times. So let me paint the picture. Joash, the king of Israel, though he's a hypocrite, did evil in the eyes of the Lord. Elisha's on his deathbed. He goes to him to mourn his dying. Elisha says, take the arrows, strike them on the ground. He struck them on the ground 3 times. And Elisha said, why didn't you do it more? You would have been able to destroy Aram for sure. But now you'll only defeat them in battle the 3 times that you struck the ground. Here's the point. Isn't it something to receive a blessing from God, but possibly not receive all the blessing? Because there's some portion in your life that still holds back from your full, complete dedication and honor to the God of Israel. That's what happened here. He still had in his hip pocket the sin of his worship of the gods, the golden calves at Dan and Bethel. If he had not had these pocket sins and had the faith to only trust in the God of Israel, Elisha's God, how he could have experienced the total blessing of finally defeating that north country, Aram. But instead, he was that hypocrite, and he did not receive the full blessings of God. Folks, don't let a hip pocket sin in your life keep you from experiencing the full blessings of God. Remember, the Bible says, jealous is the God of Israel. He is a jealous God. God bless you. Good day.